Right. I think I'm live. Audio is better. I know. Could have been more better, but I think there is an echo in my sound. But it is quite crisp. Not the best, but yeah. Let's. Sounds good. Oh no, I think that is a clear sound. Okay. It should be some pressure there. I think I need. Maybe this is correct. And let's keep it as this. And then just keep the T and 16. Increase it further. 13 and 14. 12, 14 is the last thing. Yeah, this is what we can manage. The gain, I don't think we need to have a gain. Increase or decrease them. Noise suppression, I think peaks is a good one. And we can increase it further to reduce the noise, I would say. Yeah, this just completely remove the noise, right? Yeah, that is super. Not quite remove the noise, but I think it's fine. We can be good with it. That might be a little too much. That is something I need to be a little careful. Suppression level is 0 decibels, which is the negative value. If we have to increase it or decrease it, but there is no like any echo in the voice, right? This sounds good. Maybe the gain might be an interesting one, because we need to have some good gain in the voice, right? This is the best we can do. There is still some echo in the voice. This will still have the noise level here, but yeah, it has reduced it considerably. Let's decrease that till there, and then we can keep it here, or else we can keep it from here to here, and that means levels are getting quite low, quite high. Not sure where we can keep the sweet spot. Around here, I think that still not working out well. Let's decrease the gain maybe. I cannot hear anything. Maybe here the gain is what we were playing with, right? And here if I lower this thing, it have effects on this, but there will still be the noise in the background. Let's move back to this. It is quite annoying, I would say. So I think this is not. Let's see if this works. Oh no, this doesn't work. Maybe. Yeah, this is quite a good thing. We have reduced the noise, the attack efficiency increase, I think, right? We'll just keep on taking that words. Release is what we are keeping at default. Output gain. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. I think it does. We can now try to increase the sound. It doesn't have the noise now. Right, this sounds good. Sounds good. We are back, I think, from wherever we think that today, hopefully, able to us speaking right. All right, that sounds good. I think that looks very voice. Increase gain a little bit. It doesn't have differences, right? If this doesn't have any disturbances and we are able to do it, then this is fine. I think this is fine. This is pretty good. This looks pretty good, and I think perfect. I create a little bit so that it can produce the voice that I have, but it is quite cutting it off in the middle. My suppression is there, compressor is there. Let's increase the output gain a little bit, not much, just a little bit. Lowering this might help as well. Lowering this couldn't help but think, but let's keep it at max. Not max, but little in the green zone, not in the red and orange zones. But yeah, that is what I think perfect audio looks like for me. Not the best, but yeah, let's get back to it. We are still solving day one, part two, and yeah, let's go to where we were yesterday. I went off code 2025 into day one. Let's open up Vim, and here we were in part two, not able to complete this thing here. So let's think from scratch here. So we have these things, right? That's like the first part. So yeah, these are the rotations that we want to check for. As you can see, these are the rotations. And now what we want to select is the dial starts at 50, right? And then we move left in the 16 direction. So we want to count the number of times it enters 0, like it has entered the position 0 in this case. So uh, this is if this is 68, then we move 50 in the left direction, and then we hit 0, and then we hit 82 because of 100 minus 80. So that is left over 68 after moving 50 left. So we hit 0 one time, right? So zeros is 1, and then for L30, uh, we need the position which was 82, right? So we move to 82, and from here we have to move 30 in the left again. So we have to move 52 here. There's no 0 encountered here because we just moved 30 in the left, which was 52 encountered, and that is it. Then from 52 we move to the right till 48. So we will be at 0, right? Because for 52 plus uh 52 plus 48 is 100, and mod 100, that is 0. 0 is 1. So for 48 is at 0, right? That is one thing. Then alpha. So from 0 we move to the left and make it 95 because 100 minus 5. So that is 0 because you are already at 0. And then we have at 95 towards the right 60. So here we have to move 60. So if you see, it would be, it is 35, I think, 55. Wait, how? 95 minus, sorry. Oh yeah, it is 60. Sorry. So it will be 0. We add plus 5 to it, and then the remaining 55, which will be 55. So 0 is 1, right? R60.59, yeah, it's 0 at once. So then from 55 we move left 55, which is 0. And then, oops, then from 0, we move left 1, which will be 99. Yeah, so no 0 encountered here. The 99, we move 929, which is 0, right? Then from 0, we move right to 40, so it will be 40. Then from 40, we move to 0 because of 0, sorry, 14 minus. First, it will be 14. First, we take the 14 from it and then continue moving on the left for the remaining, uh, how much? 68. So if we subtract 68 from 100, we'll get 32, I think. So it will be 32. Yeah. So we have encountered 0, 1 here. We have already encountered 0 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is what it is. The other point in 50 is in notation like cause that 0 10 times for running back to 50. Okay, so this is where we were confused here. This thing here, right? So if we walk through this could mean a lot of things here. Let's remove everything. Start from scratch. So for 68, what do we do? Let's say for 68. So moving left 68 is just as from 50, so we need to mod 68 by 100, which will give us 68. But that is the problem. If we see 50 minus 68, which is uh, less than 0, we need to increment by 1, right? Because it was left. But what if it is right? The condition is subtle, but it is quite tricky to get here. We won't test it on this right. We test this right because it is 0 is coming in the middle and not in the end. Here it was 55, not here it was 0 at the end. So for the middle part, how do we do? So 95 plus 60, right, is definitely greater than 100. So this should be greater than 100 and this should be less than 0. And let's say if uh, instead of L68, It was 168 or 268. What would be the case then? So the first thing was starting from 50. So 50, then left till 0. Sorry, this is the wrong direction. 0. Then we are consumed 50 now. We'll consume the rest remaining 100. That is, if we hit 0 again, hit 0 again, right? So here we consumed 50. Here we consumed 150. Here we consumed 250. And then here we move uh, 0. So it will be remaining 80. We move to 82. And at this point, we would have consumed all 268 numbers or distances that we wanted to cover. So 1, 2, 3, right? So the formula would be like to divide the number 268 by 100. This will give us 2. What about the remaining one? Do we want to increase by 1 or no? So if 99, let's see, in this case it was R60. If it was 260, what would be the case? Then starting at 95, we move to the right for 5. So 0, then 0 again, 0 again, and the remaining 5. No, uh, we need to do something here. So we consume 5, consumed 100, consumed more 100 here. Sorry, to be now 105 and 205. Now we need to remaining 55, right? So it will be 55, and we have consumed 255, sorry, 260. Yeah. So here as well it is 3. Okay, so clearly the answer is add 1 here for the first counts, and then for the internal counts, how we do this is, oh yeah, we don't need to add 1 if it is not always need to add 1, because we need to first check if it is greater than 16. That is how we do it. Okay, so the remainder, we definitely need that remainder because of this condition here. I'm a little confused here now. If it is mod 100. We really need mod 100. Why did we do mod 100? Oh, here. Yeah, it will be mod 100 because if we look at 268, it will still be 68. Yeah, that is it. Here as well, it will be 16, not 18. I'm confusing 50 and 100. Sorry. So once we have that number, what we check is we first increment the count with the division. So let's call rotation distance divided by 100. This will give us the counts that if it is more than 100 cycles or rotations that we have, and if the the direction is left, so if it is left and the distance, or we can say this difference, that is previous distance, if previous that minus the remainder is less than 0, then we count by 1, increment the count by 1, and uh, we need to update the count as well, previous style actually. So how do we update the previous style here? It is the same, right? Let's think about it differently. Else if rotation direction is R, then if previous style plus remainder is greater than or equal to 100, count plus plus. And now the only tricky part is the 0.5 or 6. Yeah, we are still off by 1. Okay. So 50 minus 68. This will give us the count 1, and then for each uh, turn we need to update and get the last position right. This is what we did in the part 1, which was this formula for new sequence. So I think we can keep this as it is. I don't think that will matter much. The direction doesn't matter, does it? 6199. It's new number actually. Let's check. That's going to be a tricky one. I think we have to debug it. Thatch. That is useless. Let's comment it out. So 82, where is 82? Yeah, 82, 52, 0, 95, 55, 0, 40, 32. That sounds correct. Let's add a test instead of doing this. We need a list of rotation, right? Okay, this is working correctly, I think. Mm, what could be the issue now here? Think. Are we not adding the these ones? Like the end of the ones? I hope we are doing it. So if we see where it is ending 0, so for 52 minus 48, sorry, 52 plus 48 will be 0, right? Will be incremented here. So if we remove this equal to, then that would be an issue. Yep. What is causing it? Don't have any other examples here actually. Kind of tricky. Should this be the remainder? 6202. Oh dear. I think let's move on to day 2. This is not going anywhere. Day 2 get chopped. You get inside and take a liberty to external chop. And it turns out one of the young girls was playing a gift shop and change still what I check for example. So separated by commas. Each range gives it first ID and separated by dash. Okay. Since the young girl follows the axial pattern, you can find the invalid IDs by looking for any ID which is made only of some sequence of digits repeated twice. So 5 twice. These are these are invalid IDs. None of the numbers take zeros isn't an ID at all. Okay, so these are also invalid. Job is to find all the invalid IDs that appear in the given ranges in the above example. 7. Okay. Oh, it should be in the ranges, not just these two ones. These are inclusive ranges, I think, correct? So 998 and mean, I mean, how could we do this? That's a tricky one. So wait, just there are six tools, right? Repeat it twice. So it should be even number of digits, right? This is going to be some hell of a trigger. Mm, let's at least start with it. I think this is correct. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here. 47 seconds, wait. Yeah, let's wait. There's no other way. Let's change the sample to be this. I think they mentioned it should be the single line, right? Yeah, part one, part two. Instead of here, we have ID ranges. Will be a start integer and an integer. Oh dear, 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 dear. Now they aren't even showing if it is. Am I missing something? Don't think so. Alright, let's click how I. Alright, let's just print of y. Test. Disable this for now. Right, to install fine. Let's get started here. So how do we do it? We just want the sum of it, right? So we could brute force it, but uh, might not be a good idea. This is a little error, you know. So keep this as I of 0. This will give us more stuff. This will be a string and the integer representation of that. Once we have that, what we will do is we can have one rule one range. Let's pass it string or let just pass the whole range instead. ID ranges which will be ID range and will return boolean. So there are two rules, right? I mean not rules, but let's not make it two rules now. Invalid ID is invalid ID. Return false by default. And here what we want to do is basically check for I in range, ID range start, ID range, and couldn't do this way, but we could. I think we could, right? Range over this actual function. Then we'll go with a typical for loop. That's not a way. is less than equal to id and I plus plus. So here, what we like to do is again a tricky one. 11, 22. How could um, I got to be the first step to finding this name. 11, 22. So we know that it has 22 minus 11. Uh, now twice. So if we see 22 minus 11 is 11, but so does it mean that the 11 numbers? Let's see, 95 has 5, 10, 15, 20 numbers, right? Yeah, what I'm doing. So what we do here, 100% of code is quite tricky. Right problems are quite hard now. How to do this? Look for in Paul here. It will best class. We find work here, but if we see our further into, we will see the reality with us. Oh, that's actually not a big number, right? Might give it a try. Oh, that is not a right thing to do again. So the intuition goes like if we know that 95 has 99 number in it, then we can somehow decide which are the valid numbers in this sequence list. But how do we know that range? We can we quick know these valid numbers? Like we know the max is 115 and so from 95 to 115, are there any invalid numbers like repeating digits or how do we know that? And this is going over my head. Jesus Christ. Let's solve this. This is pretty easy, right? I mean, let's look at the person input first. Then, oh my god. Well, it should only be. Okay, there are four numbers and one grid for that. That is fine. That is what I expected here, and that is what it is here. So this should be pretty straightforward as far as I can say. First is 2, which we are not able to solve, and here we need these are worksheet. So type worksheet struct, which will have three integers. So we'll call it nums is a list of integer and the operation as a string. So pass the lines as a list of worksheet. This will be the columns. In this case, worksheet will be a list of worksheets, and here we don't want to split by line, we want to split by spaces. I think that won't work that way. We need to do something different here. Here, what we after is worksheet. So a single line, we can say if I is 0, sorry, I is less than 3, 0, 1 and 2. So if I is in 3, we just append the numbers. Uh, you also need to split, right? Yep. So we have this thing here. Now we know that there are n numbers, and for each of the numbers, we need to append them. For I, sorry, j, and the num in the range num line, sorry, this will be rows. For the range 3 will wait. Uh, Now what we want to do here is a pretty simple problem with the part. 2 might be that is fighting 1 here. We will need this too. Oh dear. Mess up there. Oh dear. Just excuse me for a while. This is messed up by me. It's actually formatted. This is some hell of a stuff. So if you would see it here, we might not be able to split by spaces. I mean, yeah, we can think because this thing split by space, then we can trim the space. I think it should be good. The other part is what it is tricky. Not tricky, but just we need to be a little careful here what we are doing and dealing with. So let's copy this. Jumping to directly day 6. Bad thing. Yeah. So we have splitted these things as per each lines. So we have these numbers in our right. So in our worksheet, What we want is the zeroth worksheet should have 123, 45, and 6, right? Yeah. So accordingly, you can do this 64 and 98, so on. So how do we pass this, right? So first we need to make sure we populate. So we first create all the worksheets. Works worksheet. So what we need to create is how many worksheets there are. You can get this by the length of this first array, which we only need to initialize it once. If I is equals to 0, we split the lines and we get the number of lines that are there. Not the number line, but yeah, whatever. Get the idea. The n we want to create it for this. So what we would do is for j in range n, we will make worksheet for the n numbers. No, no, I'm not doing it. How do we do it? We have populated 3 worksheets, and what we could do now is reference worksheets of I, right? and then append worksheets of I with what? We need to now parse those numbers. So for j in range so we have 123 328. That is actually wrong. 45. Total is saying 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. should be 4, not 6. So 123 is 6. So we'll take the parse line as a string and then return list of integers. So for uh, str in range line dot split with the space, if str is equal to empty string, then continue, else will append ends with the num, which will be then so instead of doing this, we'll parse the line with the actual line, and then this we won't need now. Let's see what is the issue here. Okay, it only kept 64, which is this one, 23 and 314. At least that is okay. So now we need to be a little serious. We have the number of, we have these now, and we can actually print the number line 123, 328, 551, and 64. Okay, so that's it. It's fine. What we now need is simple, which is we iterate through the number line and let's print f. So here we need j of nums. Nums append the num. Let's see what is the worksheet's actually looking like. So it's currently empty, but it has 1, 2, 3, and 4 columns. Dependent 64 here, which is kind of wrong. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that is it. And we just need the final bit, which will be for the else condition. Simply need to pass these operations, which I think will be similar to this. Pass the operation line. We'll split that. We don't need to convert them. With this, we just need to convert it into the operations, which will have a list of string and This will be a list of string. This won't need this one. No panics. And then just append. Alright, that looks correct. We just need to now perform the operations for worksheet in range the worksheet. Let's skip this thing. What we now need to do is take the first sheet and then if they are only plus and multiplication. Okay, that sounds good. If I mean, there's no need to do this. If worksheet of 3 is equals to plus, then sorry, So for part one, it is this thing. Let's stop the debuggers. Just got 4. That is weird. Some reason I skipped. Oh, 3320. And that looks correct. 42766. It's only a part one test for now. Okay, it got 0 somehow. Huh? There we go. Took some time, but worth it. So part one, that's what we got. Ah, The calculation seems right? Multiply and then hmm, is it this? This is very nasty of Golang slices. You should be knowing what exactly you are doing, otherwise hope the soak. Okay, is it this? Yeah, probably not that reason. Input still has three lines, right? Or no? Oh, one, two, three, four, messed up. Okay, this is not the right one to do it. So these two things. So we can just combine this here instead of doing this. Uh, so this will, if if we want the last line, so the last line is a len of lines minus one. If I is equals to last line, sorry, if it's not equal to this, or yeah, let's check that. Uh, if last lines len of lines, right? And that is fine. It's not last line. Then do this. If sorry, if it is less than last line. No, what is last line? 3. It's this 4. If that is 4, and if we try to print that, the line. They should print all of them, right? It doesn't. Okay. Where are you missing it? 5056. Oh, probably this was the right intuition. However, it failed at that number, which means still off by one. Last line. It is 8 and 3. 2, 3, 4. How is it 8? That n is not that number I wanted to search. Where was I printing it? Why is it printing that? 3 and 8. Last number of lines. What is lines? Really? 3 and 4. This is not quite correct. And we messed up the input. Oh dear. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. Okay. So once we have that, this should hopefully work. There we go. At least something is right. Responder. Yeah. Method and left, right to left. What? Right most problem is 4 plus 8. What? 4. Where is 4? 430. Well, there you can see it. 175. firefight. What the heck is this? Each number is given in its column. Scaffold. The file output math is written right to left in columns. Right to left. Right to left in columns. Each number is given in its own column with the most significant to the top and the least significant digit at the bottom. Hmm. Oh, oh, that is 41431 623. This is wild. We just need to change the way we pass this. It is going to be quite right. Okay, so now spaces becomes important. It's not exactly tab writer because it's not tab. These are actually from, if you see, look at this carefully, this makes no sense. Nonsense here. So how do we pass these things? If we split on spaces, we just need to do a left or right trim, right? So here, we need to check. We can like just say this and it would work. No, this is not going to work. Okay, so parse left to right. How do we do it? So 123, right? So instead of doing like splitting it here, let me first copy this entire thing so we can play around with it. And we will still be using the lines, right? There is no brainer there. However, the parse num line is everything that we are doing here is going to cause an issue. So parse left space conserve line. My goodness, how things which I've created here. I'll keep this as is, just line sorry, space conserve line, and instead of splitting on, we'll, we'll keep it, but let's print this here as str line between this. Sorry, it will be a num. So 123, 328. Wait, hold on. Why does it have? Why doesn't have any leading or trading spaces? I mean, we could be a little smarter here. I don't know, like we can know how many numbers there will be, right? And then this side passing those numbers. It's a little tricky one. I don't want to see. I don't think I am right now in a space to solve this. Can you solve this, however? Ingredients ID. Okay, let's stop it for today.